tennis is one of a kind. You may ask why. Well, all thanks to its playing surfaces. Most sports have a standardized field. Football, basketball, baseball all use fixed surfaces. Unlike them, tennis has totally different courts, each changing the game completely. Making the surface a strategic factor, adding an extra layer of depth and variety to the sport. So in tennis, it isn't just about who's better. It's also about who's better where. That's what makes it so unique. The court you play on can totally change the game. Like imagine playing Mario Kart on a rainbow road one day, and then in a muddy jungle the next. That's tennis, 3 main surfaces, 3 totally different vibes. Grass, clay, hard court. You've seen them all, but do you wonder know how they came to be? From aristocrats volleying on backyard lawns to high-tech surfaces engineered for speed and spin. From humble beginnings to the high-tech arenas we see today. Tennis courts have come a long way. This isn't just a history lesson, it's the untold story of how the surface beneath your shoes shaped champions, defined eras, and transformed the game itself. Welcome to the evolution of tennis courts, where every bounce tells a story. Imagine way back in the 12th century in France, not on manicured lawns, but in monastery courtyards. Monks, looking for a bit of recreational fun, started hitting a ball against the walls or over a rope. And guess what they used? Their palms. This early version was called jeu de paume, which literally means game of the palm. These games were often played on whatever ground was available. But as the game evolved and became more formalized, the need for dedicated playing surfaces arose. And there's the birth of the name. Tennis. Here's a fun theory about where the name tennis might have come from. When a player was about to serve, they would often call out tenez, a French word meaning take this or be ready. It's quite possible that this call eventually stuck as the name of the game itself. From the 13th century, France, particularly the royal court, embraced jeu de paume with great enthusiasm. This game was adopted by French royalty and became a popular court game known as tennis. Earlier limiting participation mainly to the aristocracy. As real tennis, also known as court tennis or royal tennis, gained popularity among European nobility, it was primarily played indoors on hard surfaces such as wood or stone. These enclosed courts had unique architectural features that influenced the game. This is when rackets started to make their grand entrance. These weren't the sleek graphite wonders we know now. Imagine wooden frames strung with animal gut. This new equipment allowed for a more powerful swing and a faster-paced game. Kings like Francis I and Henry II were avid players and promoters of the sport, building courts and encouraging its play among courtiers and commoners alike. The enclosed courts allowed for play regardless of the weather, making it a popular pastime within the palace. King Charles IX, in 1571, granted a constitution to the Corporation of Tennis Professionals, establishing an early form of a pro tennis tour. The Royal Tennis Court at the Palace of Versailles, built in 1686, stands as a testament to this history. Originally a sports hall for the court of Versailles, it later became a significant site in French history. The most famous historical event involving a French royal tennis court is undoubtedly the tennis court oath, in 1789, at the Palace of Versailles. When the deputies of the Third Estate found themselves locked out of their usual meeting hall, they gathered at the royal tennis court and swore not to disband until they had established a new constitution for France. This pivotal moment in the French Revolution highlights how a place of royal leisure unexpectedly became a stage for profound political change. Real tennis became a hit with royalty across Europe. Kings and nobles were enthusiastic players. Henry VIII of England was a huge fan and had several courts built, including the famous one at Hampton Court Palace, which is still in use today. The game was so popular that it even pops up in literature. Shakespeare mentions tennis balls in Henry V, and there are other medieval tales of knights playing against giants with tennis balls. During the 18th and early 19th centuries, as real tennis declined, new racket sports played outdoors on grass began to emerge in Britain. The invention of the first commercially successful lawnmower in Britain around 1830 made it possible to maintain large, evenly cut grass surfaces. This was crucial for creating suitable playing fields for sports like lawn tennis. With the emergence of lawn tennis in England, the game moved outdoors and was played on grass lawns. This surface became synonymous with the sport, lending it the name lawn tennis. Wimbledon, established in 1877, remains the most prestigious tournament played on grass. These were among the first purpose-built tennis surfaces. Imagine the elegance, the tradition. The ball tends to bounce low and fast on well-maintained grass, rewarding quick reactions and strategic net play. But grass demands meticulous care. Think constant watering, mowing, and rolling. Plus, the bounce can be unpredictable depending on the wear and tear. This led to the search for more consistent and less demanding alternatives. Clay court tennis started somewhat by accident in the late 19th century. Here's the story. In 1890, William and his twin brother Ernest Renshaw, who were also 7-time Wimbledon champions, had built grass tennis courts at their summer home in Cannes, on the French Riviera. The grass courts struggled to withstand the intense heat and sunlight, leading to wilting and a decline in playing quality. To remedy this, William Renshaw decided to cover the court with a fine red powder. This powder was sourced from crushed terracotta, baked clay, from discarded earthenware pots from a nearby ceramics factory in Vallauris. The new surface proved successful. It protected the grass from the sun and was also cheaper to build and maintain than traditional grass courts, especially in the European and South American climates. More importantly, it created a new playing surface with unique characteristics. The crushed terracotta provided a slower surface with a higher bounce, quite different from grass. The new surface proved successful, and soon, many other clubs in the region started building similar clay courts. The use of crushed terracotta quickly gained popularity. By the early 1890s, it was reported that over 100 clay courts had been built in Cannes alone. The demand for the terracotta powder increased rapidly. Eventually, brick powder became the more common material, as the pottery factory couldn't keep up. Clay courts became particularly popular in continental Europe and Latin America due to their durability in warmer climates and lower maintenance compared to grass. While red clay is the most well-known, there are also green clay courts, which are made from crushed metabasalt, a type of rock. These courts tend to be slightly harder and faster than red clay. The Hartrue surface, developed in the United States, is a prominent example of green clay. The French Open at Roland Garros, established in 1891, is the only Grand Slam played on clay. With iconic red dust, clay courts also introduce the element of the slide, a unique skill that allows players to reach seemingly impossible shots. Clay courts are slower than grass, producing a higher bounce and favoring baseline players with strategic and patient gameplay. However, like grass, clay courts require regular maintenance, including watering, rolling, and brushing. As tennis gained popularity, the need for more durable and versatile playing surfaces arose. Hard courts, made of rigid materials like asphalt, concrete, or a combination, surfaced as an alternative to grass and clay courts. The development of asphalt and concrete as construction materials provided a stable and long-lasting foundation for tennis courts. These materials offered a level playing field that wasn't as susceptible to wear and tear as grass. Hard courts started gaining traction in the early to mid-20th century. They were seen as a practical solution for areas with varying climates and high usage. Hard courts were introduced in competitive tournaments as early as October 1877 at the Dublin University Championships in Ireland, where an asphalt surface was used. A significant advancement in hard court technology was the introduction and widespread adoption of acrylic coatings. These synthetic surfaces are applied in multiple layers over the asphalt or concrete base. Acrylic coatings allowed for the customization of the court speed and ball bounce, by varying the number and type of layers, as well as the amount of sand added to the mixture. Compared to grass and clay, acrylic hard courts are relatively low maintenance. They dry quickly after rain, allowing for more playing time, and don't require constant watering or mowing. Acrylic coatings can be pigmented, offering better visibility of the ball against the court surface. Different colors can also be used for out-of-bounds areas. Modern hard courts have seen significant advancements in materials and construction, offering varying degrees of speed and cushioning by adding layers of rubber or other materials for shock absorption and player comfort to cater to different playing styles and reduce player fatigue. The US Open transitioned to hard courts in 1978, and the Australian Open followed suit in 1988. This adoption by major tournaments significantly cemented the status of hard courts as a premier playing surface. In the latter half of the 20th century, synthetic surfaces like carpet, various synthetic materials, and artificial grass were introduced, particularly for indoor use. Carpet courts were once common in indoor professional events but have largely been replaced. Artificial grass has been an option nowadays, and its pace can be adjusted by adding sand or rubber granules. In recent decades, there has been a move toward standardization and homogenization of court surfaces, led by the International Tennis Federation (ITF), which ensures courts meet consistent criteria for pace, bounce, friction, and safety. This creates uniform playing conditions across tournaments, enhancing fairness and player protection. However, homogenization, the trend towards surfaces behaving more similarly, has reduced the distinct playing styles once associated with clay, grass, and hard courts. The evolution is a continuous process, and it happens in all directions, they say. So the list can't be complete without some notable inclusions, weirder, but still part of evolution, such as blue clay court. In 2012 and 2013, the Madrid Open shocked tennis fans with bright blue clay courts. They looked cool, but players complained. Slippery surface and tricky footing made rallies wild. Blue clay turned out to be visually stunning, but definitely controversial. Floating courts. For exhibition matches and special events, temporary tennis courts have been constructed on floating platforms, such as in 2011 Doha Bay, Qatar, where Federer and Nadal hit balls on floating water court for ATP promotion. Battle of the Surfaces. In 2007, Nadal and Federer faced off on a tennis court, split right down the middle, clay on one side and grass on the other, for an exhibition match called Battle of the Surfaces. Each player had their preferred surface to decide who had the edge, clay king or grass master. Unfenced Savannah courts. There's a notable unfenced tennis court in the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania where wildlife can be spectators. Imagine playing tennis right in the heart of the savannah, no fences, just endless grasslands and wild horizons. Some luxury safari lodges offer open tennis courts where your opponents might just be giraffes or zebras watching from afar. Sky-high tennis on Burj Al Arab helipad. In 2005, Federer and Agassi played a casual match on top of the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai, 650 feet above the ground, one of the most iconic courts ever. Talk about taking the game to new heights. From the grassy lawns of Wimbledon to the high-tech acrylics of modern hard courts, the evolution of tennis surfaces has shaped the way the game is played today. Whether it's the speed of grass, the grind of clay, or the balance of hard courts, each surface tells a story of innovation, tradition, and strategy. If you enjoyed this journey through tennis history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing from our channel. Have a favorite surface to play or watch? Let us know in the comments below, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one, where every bounce has a story.